on the Okay, hi. Oh, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for taking your time with us this evening. So for everyone who doesn't know, this is Nadia. Nadia is a sideline sister, so she is not on our team. She is MM. She just picked up her Cadillac, I think last month, a few weeks ago. And I really wanted
like just a couple weeks ago,
yeah, I wanted her to come in, share her journey with you all. If you have questions for her, pop it in the chat. But it's always nice to hear from somebody different. You guys see my brother's face all the time. So let's turn it over to Nadia. And yeah, maybe just
oh my God.
And yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I'm just trying to position here. I'm in my basement. So please just let me know if you can't hear me. But hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for the wait. My name's Nadia, and I am a hairstylist. Been a hairstylist for 17 years. And I've started with Monat in November of 2019. So what a wild ride. Hey, listen, I want to cheers and thank you for inviting me on here. Clink. Yay. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. So I live in Barrie, and again, one of my girlfriends in high school, she introduced me. So I never really knew Monat before. I knew of it, and I've actually had clients using it, and I just didn't have it. I just thought it was another hair care brand or whatever. And but I worked in a salon for many years. I started having babies. I have 3 kids. I have a 9-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So when I started having kids, I had to leave the salon and just try to like work on my own. So that's what I did. And now I have a home studio here, and I've been doing it full time here in my house for 8 years. And so I wasn't really looking for anything. I was just content just having babies and doing hair on the side and whatever. And my friend Kate brought it to my attention. Teresa knows Kate. It's just what a small world, by the way. Like Teresa and
crazy.
Kate had it right. Like you guys went to school together in high school.
Yeah. So basically, like Nadia and I connected through Instagram with Monat and all that stuff. Like you and I, we hit it off. We like got along and all this stuff. And then she invited me to do a team call for her. And she said, I'm going to let my upline know. And I said, oh, cool. Who's your upline? She's like, oh, her name's Kate Hutchison. And I was like, oh, that's kind of, I know someone named Kate Hutchison, not even thinking this is a girl I went to high school with. And then I add her on social media. Sure enough, it's a girl I used to hang out with in high school that we had lost touch. And it was so crazy. So it led to this whole conversation that Kate and I had. And we were like, holy crap, we're both in Monat. We're both doing this thing. So wild. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, it's wild. And by the way, like I'm fangirl right now because like I'm seeing your girls on here, and congratulations to Christy Hotbod. I know her as Hotbod Christy and Barrie. So congratulations to your rank to MM. That's so amazing. And to Ali and Brittany. It's so awesome. But anyway, that's what I love about this company. I do love how we're all just support each other and rise together and just see each other's like, you know, achievements and everything like that. But anyway, so Kate introduced me to Monat, and she's like, I don't know if you're doing anything right now or if you're, you know, selling products, but this is something I think you'd be good at. I'm like, okay, cool, like whatever, sure. And so I did, and I love it. And hey, you know what? Being a hairstylist, for as long as I'm doing it, I've used so many products over the years, like it's crazy. Not once did I care about the ingredients in the products that I've used before. Like you don't realize what is actually in those professional products. And let me tell you something, there's salon brands are professional. I mean, they're premium products, but honestly, Monat is, I've never seen anything like it. And just thinking about what I was putting on my client's hair is mind boggling. I never thought it would coat the hair, not let the hair breathe properly. Even if like using professional products and their hair was still crap, I'm just like, I don't know, like you're using professional products, it would be good. But the science behind it is really what sold me. And it's crazy to me that not a lot of hairstylists are jumping on this. And I think there's two types of hairstylists out there. There's one that's really open and wanting to try anything, and that's kind of like how I am. I've been trying so many products. And then there's another where their ego can be kind of high and think, you know, it's just not good. Like, what are you doing? And it makes her hair fall out. Like, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. It's fine. But I love, my clients love it too. Like, I don't have one person that doesn't like it. And if you help your customers, educate them, give them the knowledge they need, it's really they don't know how to use it. And a lot of times they don't. And listen to this. Okay, can I just say this really quick? So I had a client, and you always want to follow up with VIPs, like always. So my one friend, she's a stylist, and I'm like, hey girl, like how's the oil going? And she's like, oh my God, I don't like it. I'm like, what? I don't know. And I said to him, like, what do you mean right now? I said, what do you mean? How are you using it? And she's like, oh, I'm just putting it in my hair dry, and then I just find it's really greasy and oily. And then I'm just like, don't you watch any of my stories? Like, I do an oil treatment on my stories every single day, how to do it, why I do it, what's the benefits of it, and all that stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, I never did that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So it's always good to follow up. But anyway, I do ramble a lot, so I apologize. But the science behind it really is what took me well. And I actually didn't think a year and a half into it that I would be financially good. I mean, if I didn't have this, I don't know where I'd be. Like, because I lost my job. I couldn't work for like most of the year, and I made 5 figures last year. Like, hello. And I say to my girlfriends who do hair, I'm like, listen, this is like no joke. I would show them what my pay is, not to boast, but just to show them, like, you could do this too. It's so easy. And they still don't want to, and it's fine. They'll come around. But guys, like, the future is online, and being in the trades, you would think I would always have a job, but it's a great company to not rely on your 9 to 5, 100%, because you could lose your job anytime. So having this, to not rely on what I do full time. So I always say that to people as well. But making an extra 5 figures, earning a Cadillac, who does that? Like, I don't know who does that. And I mean, getting a bonus every month too. When I worked at the salon, I got another $1-2 raise like once a year, maybe. I don't know. It's really I don't know, guys, like, you're in it at the right time, and be loud and proud about it. Like, I go out and wear my Monet gear, and it's like, you don't, because I can understand like the negative parts that we hear, and we don't want people to, we always worry about what other people think. But listen, they don't pay for your bills, okay? Like, we get residual bills. Why wouldn't you make a residual income? I love that from No Shame Sales Game. It's so good, and it makes total sense. And look, and they're going to talk when you're doing good, and they're going to talk if you're like, whatever, not doing it. But I always say to my girls every day, I say good morning to them, and I always tell them, like, I want to see what happens when I don't give up, because you want to see what happens. You don't want FOMO. So that's the quote I love every single day, because there's days where I just don't want to do this. Like, you're human, right? I mean, and it's okay to have a reset. It's okay to reset and just get back into the game again. There's days where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do a reel. I don't know if you, my handle's like down here, but the reels, people know I do the reels, and oh my God, Nadia, like, whatever.
Nadia's
like,
so good at reels, guys. If you're not her, like, she's so good at reels. But I feel like that's where you really connect with people. People connect with you. They look at you, you entertain them. That is such a crucial piece. We did a team call last night for our leaders with Dre. I don't know if you know Dre. She's like, so she's MMM.
Oh, yeah. Dramus on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is her name Dramus? Yeah.
Yeah, and she was talking about that, just like the power of connection, but also entertaining people. Like, people will have choice of who to join. So you have to show your personality. You have to be connecting. And you are so good at that. Like, your reels make me laugh all the time. You're so just genuinely funny. And you know what I mean? Like, maybe humor is not everybody's thing, but everyone has a thing, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I do, because I mean, with COVID and the pandemic right now and what everybody's going through every day, I like to still put like a smile on people's faces and make them, and I want them to feel comfortable if they want to talk to me about anything, personal development. And I have a girl on the team, and she's like, Nadia, I don't know if I can do this. Like, she got a bad like comment on one of her reels, just a troll, whatever. And I'm like, listen, this is just, that's that one person that just takes you all down. Like, don't do that. Just keep moving forward, keep doing you. People love you for who you are, and just be your authentically best self, right? So anyway, she kept doing it, and now she has like VIP, she's feeling more confident behind the camera, and it's just so nice to see. And that's what really drives me every day, because I feel like if I don't show up, I'm letting somebody down, or I'm that one person missed out on something that they needed to hear or want, or so I have to I need to show up every day. But it's okay to have that reset. But again, I want to see what happens when I don't quit, or if I don't give up. And I think that's a big quote I tell my girls all the time, because it's so true. I don't want FOMO. Do you? Like, I don't, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I almost quit 8 months in, and I always use that as part of my journey. I always share that. I almost quit 8 months into my business. And
Wow.
yeah. And because I was so deflated, like
Wow.
I was stuck at MMB for a year and a half. And I always say, the only thing that kept me in those low moments was the FOMO of like
Yeah.
what if Bailey and Sophie both get to director? And they did. Imagine I had quit.
Right.
Sophie's upline
Right.
quit. Like Sophie's upline
Yes.
quit the business. Can you imagine the FOMO
Wow.
she has? It's like
Oh,
you don't know when your breakthrough is going to happen.
right.
And so
Yeah.
for you, Nadia, it's so interesting, because now I've like watched your journey happen. And before your Cadillac, I feel like when I did your team call, actually, that it was probably like 6 months ago. Were you maybe at a moment of frustration in your business? Because I
Yeah.
definitely felt that. And I think it's important to share those moments.
Oh, it's just absolutely like, yeah. It was at a point where, you see the girls on the team, and you're in yourself too, and you feel like, I don't know what else to do. I need a fresh like face. I need a fresh, like, guys, listen. Oh my God. Like, Teresa is like the bomb.com. Okay. I mean, she is like amazing. And I mean, I don't know. It's honestly, I mean, there could be so much competition out there. And this is what I love, is that when I first got promoted to MM, I had to message you right away. I'm like, girl, like, look what I got. It was so exciting. I was so stoked. But anyway,
I was so happy. I was so excited.
it was, there's always, yeah. And you know what, Teresa, when you were on that, the girls still talk about it. They still talk about how you talk about the deck of cards. They talk about how you just put your all into it, and they really do. They love you. So I want to thank you for that. Really, you hit a lot of hearts there. But there's, yeah, you did.
I love your
It's just, yeah, we needed that. And I think it's so important to collab like with Side Sisters. And because listen, I mean, during my struggles with Monet, I mean, it's helped for me a lot with my one kid. So she's on the spectrum. So I have to do therapy with her and stuff. And there are days where it's like, I don't know if I can lead a team, or I don't know if I can keep going. And, but I do it for the kids. Like, they're my number one priority. And really, if you think about, if you want to give up, or not saying that, but just stop, really go back and think about what your why. I always say that too. Go back and think about your why, and why you started this in the first place, because this is not easy. It's not easy, but it's simple at the same time. You just have to do the stuff you need to do that you don't want to do in order to succeed and move forward. So, and no one is going to tell you that except for yourself, right? So, with my girls on the team, I give input and advice and everything, but at the end of the day, it's their choice whether they want it or not. And so, definitely have a reset if you feel like you're, falling back, or just talk to somebody. Talk to, even like, I find I contact Teresa. We're not even on the same team, but I feel so comfortable with her that I have reached out to her many times and said, listen, girl, like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do with MPs or VPs? Like, what's different that you do that could maybe, it's always good to talk and have that accountability buddy for sure.
Oh, absolutely. When I was struggling in my business to recruit, I went to a sideline sister. I went to Vanessa Estevez. I just said, hey, because she was doing the do. She was doing what I wanted to be doing.
Right.
Always reach out to the person you want, like you look up to in this business, or you see doing something that you're like, something she's doing is working, or something that person is doing is just hitting the spot. And I want to know. Like, I think that's so important,
right.
like, to tap into
to talk.
People. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Tara was saying, what did you do to overcome it? Like, obviously, you're saying you reset. What do you think was like a pivotal moment where your momentum just, like, right before MM? I always feel like there's that breakthrough right before AMM to MM.
Yeah, so Kate was getting MMM, my upline Kate, and it really inspired me because she did everything she could to get MMM, like everything she could to get there. That girl works hard, and like, if you want it, you'll get it. And that month, I think she got MMM in February. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm getting MM in March. I'm just going to do it. When you set your mind on something, you can't go back on it. I didn't want to go back on it. And I did parties every weekend. I did Facebook parties, Zoom parties, and I was like doing it for my girls' Facebook groups. I was always doing parties. I was always doing the deal of the day, because your DV has to be at 30,000 to get to MM and 2 MMB. So I was like, shit, like, that is just wild to me. Like, so I had to do everything I can to get there. So I did everything I could. Deal of the days. I told the girls, like, hey guys, deal of the day, let's do this. And Facebook parties, and just always talking, always connecting, talking to new people every day. Did my 5-3-1 method. So I think it's 5 connections, 3 conversations, 3 for VIPs, I forget exactly, and then asking one person a day if they want to join the business part or be a VIP customer. So that's what I like to do, and that's what the girls are doing.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know what, and before, my DV was always like 24, 25. Mm-hmm. So I got an extra 12,000 in 10 days in March, like the last bit of March. I was just like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but I was like, no, it has to happen. Like, it just has to. I have to do everything I can. So it's work, but it's simple work. We just have to do the stuff that you have to do in order to do it. And even though we get a lot of no's, I get a lot of no's still, but I always look at no's as next opportunity. And I got that from Bonnie.
That's so good.
Next opportunity. Yeah. Next opportunity. So I'm like, okay. And actually, I don't mind those now, because I know they always come back. And I remember this one girl named Nikki. She's, when I first started, I'm like, do you want to, like, let's try these products? Like, you think it would be simple for me and my hairstylist, like, whatever I suggest, they should just use it. Some of them don't. They still use other stuff, and that's fine. It's not for everybody. And she's like, I don't know, my friend used it. It makes your hair fall out, whatever. I'm like, okay, I wouldn't use it if it did that, but whatever. Really, I always have to say that. Lead the dance, by the way. You always want to lead the dance in this business, okay? I never let anybody talk to me. If they don't know, I don't let them lead the dance. I lead it. Like, no, I'm taking over, okay? Anyway, I've been talking to her about being a VIP, just trying the products, 30-day money back guarantee. And I wasn't bugging her, but every couple months I would say, hey, there's a sale going on right now. I thought of you. It's this sale. You'll get so many products for this much, for how much, whatever. I know, by the way, VIPs, how much it is, how many products they're getting, how long it's going to last them. And I know you're going to love it. Plus you get a free product. Oh, really? Okay. If you say it like that, people just want to know the simple bits. I never say, Monet is great because blah, 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 blah. No, I know people are watching me. So I'm just going to tell them, I know you're going to love it. So anyway, she wasn't responding. She wasn't doing anything. Long story short, last month, she's like, okay, I think I want to learn more about Monet. okay, about a VIP or the business side? She's like, business. I'm like, what? So now like, it's just, okay, cool. I'm not gonna say anything else. Let's just do it. Let's pick a pack. So consistency is so key. People are watching, and if you're not consistent, then they're not going to take you seriously. They're not going to trust what you're saying if you're just in and out all the time, right? So you have to trust the product, obviously, love the product, be passionate about the product, and they will feel it. Don't be somebody else. Don't be pretend to be somebody else, because they'll see that. Because when I first started, I messaged this one girl about trying the products, and I just got a verbiage. I just copied a verbiage from Kate, whatever. And she's like, this is not you. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm just telling you about the product. She's like, no, this is not you. Ha 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 ha. This is like, you're more, laid back and cool and whatever. Not cool, you know what I mean? Just laid back. And I said, okay. So now from that, I show up every day, be true to you and be honest with your viewers, show passion. And again, with MLMs, there's like a bad rap with it, right? People do it and then they don't, and then they back out, or you need to do a certain amount a month or whatever. So if you don't take it seriously, it's going to be that much harder. So you just they have to trust you before they purchase. And I've had a lot of people just, say, okay, I think I want to try it now. You got me with whatever, and making it fun. Have fun with it. Like, it is so fun. And listen, you're going to love that. Sorry, I did hear you. I think you cut out.
I cut out. Yeah, it was weird. Yeah. And that's the things, like with you, did you anticipate, like the people who did join the business, who obviously are working the business and doing it, did you anticipate that? Like, I always tell my girls, you never know who's actually going to run with this. You could have someone join your team and think, oh my gosh, that girl's going to be a runner. She's going to be amazing. And they literally do 0 things with the business. And you don't know, tomorrow you could have a market partner join you who just absolutely crushes it, who you think, oh my gosh, like Misty joined me, my girl Misty. She had 18 followers on Instagram. Like, would you think necessarily that a person with 18 followers is just going to absolutely crush it? I never go with a preconceived notion about anybody, because she's my MM. She's grown her social. She's, and then Allie, she joined when I started, and she didn't get her first market partner. She didn't really like jump into the business until last year. And now she's an MM. So you just—
Isn't that wild? Yeah.
Yeah, you
wild. You don't.
Yeah. And everyone's timeline is so different, and you have such a lack of control of that timeline. So you have to just like trust the process.
Totally trust the process, and totally be open and coachable and motivated, too, because like when I always, and a lot of the times I don't want to just talk to my girls about just business. I ask how they are. I ask how they're doing and everything like that too, because really there's times where no one ever asks me how I'm doing. And it's fine, but like I always want to make sure they are okay. And I'm not just talking to them about, did you get your VIPs? Like, did you do this? Let's go. Because, I don't want to run them down. Not that I do, but you know what I mean? I want to have that connection with them too. And they're doing amazing. And yeah, like there's girls on the team that, didn't think that they would be where they are. Like there's this one girl, she only had like 30 followers, and now she went up to 500 because I told her, I'm like, it's you being consistent, more viewers, just being open. It's, you want to show up as a CEO, not an employee. And I always say that. I'm just like, this is your baby. This is $1 billion debt-free company, and they're going to pay you for your work. So whatever you put into it, you will get out of it. Yeah. What a business, dude. I'm just like, fuck. Sorry.
No.
Wild.
It's so good. Does anyone have any questions for Nadia before we wrap this up? Because we wanted to make it a super quick call because Nadia has a team call at 8:15. So if you do have a question for her, please drop it in the chat. And yeah, if not, just add her on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle? Nadia Cat, right?
It should be on my it should be on my screen there. Nadia Cat. Yeah. It's I hope that was okay. I hope
that was amazing.
That answered some questions. I know I ramble a lot.
No, that was amazing. I mean, you are crushing it. You're doing such an amazing job. Like, you are so consistent, and you're literally like the poster child for consistency. And I want people to see that. Like, it's okay to take breaks, guys. I've been taking a break the last couple of days because I've just, I've been consistent though for 3.5 years. So I have learned having a couple day break and unplugging a little bit, but I hustle when I show up. Oh, Tara, how do you attract hairdressers?
I find hairdressers are so hard to attract just because that ego, right? And not that they think they know everything, but I wish they were more open to learn about this business because actually I do have a couple hairstylists on the team and they're not doing anything. I don't know why. Ask them if they're all right, but some people it's I think, how do I track hairdresser? It's hard, dude. Like, it's Sarah. Listen, I'm a hairstylist. How do you bring? Yeah, it's tricky thing. It's very tricky. I asked them like, hey, why don't we set up a call and I can just talk to you about it? And I say to them, hey, I wouldn't do this if it did what people are talking about, And I always say that to them. I always just bring it back to them, right? And they're like, I know, you're right. Like, and it's hard. Hairdressers are tough.
Yeah.
With a lot of my market partners are my clients, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
that's the thing. Like, I don't focus on attracting hairstylists, even though we do have we have a lot of awesome hairstylists on our team. I don't focus on
great.
Because hairstylists are very, I find, and like even Natalie will agree with this, like hairstylists oftentimes are very set in their ways, the most open, the most coachable, and Bailey does this all the time. Like, Bailey hardly has any, she does have quite a few stylists on the team, but it's hard because you come in with that preconceived, and you have a lot of education pre-Monet, right? So it's just a little bit different. It's
it's so different. It's I mean, I don't get it. I really don't. And if they would just listen and just trust the process, it would be very easy. I mean, a lot of clients look to you for the professional products, what they should use, or the recommendations. I know. I wish it was easy. It was like, it's a no-brainer, like you'd think, right?
But you don't focus a lot on hairstylists. You
I really don't actually. I actually don't. Now that you say that, I know I don't. I've reached out to a few hairstylists that I've been following, and we've been connecting. So definitely, I don't like cold messaging at all. I feel like connecting is better, just to warm it up a bit, And then I would bring it up to them, just saying, hey, like, there's this incentive, blah, blah, blah. I've been watching your work. I think you're amazing and you'd be really great at it. Have you ever thought, do you know about Monet, or have you ever, asked them if they've heard about it? But a lot of them just say that they're content with their products, and that's fine. They are set in their ways 100%. So they're a tricky bunch.
Kate has probably told you this, but Kate's best friend in Huntsville is a stylist. She owns Hudson Hair Salon in Muskoka, and she is so anti-Monet. Like, she thinks it's a pyramid scheme, and her best friend is your upline. They're like literally best friends. And she's seen Kate thrive in this. Kate is like in the beauty business as well. So her and I were chatting one day and saying, like, how is she not seeing that this is amazing? But we're not in the job of convincing anybody. And
no, right. And I hate that pyramid thing. It's like, every job is like a pyramid shape, and we have to stop thinking of it like that, because when people say, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, and I'm like, well, who do you work for? So I always turn it around, and they're like, oh, well, I'm like, so you're going to stay in this position because I can move up if I want, So
Yeah.
I always bring it back to them, and then they just shut up. So I saw another chat, it's
like,
it's
do
so
you have a
silly.
boss? Does your boss make more money than you? Okay.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, cool. Right. And then you'll probably have to do, like courses to get to that spot of whatever, right? So and then you have to spend more money. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
sorry.
Sorry, I know. So yeah, I know you've got to wrap it up because your call's in like 5 minutes, but
Oh no, that's okay. I just wanted to answer a couple cancel. Sorry, if you don't mind. I
yeah,
just saw this one question. My one hairdresser friend said she
please.
can't sell or share anything because she signed a contract. Nah, that's not true. With L'Oreal, that's not true. You can leave a contract. That's silly. I've worked for here's Alice to bring up the VIP to your clients. Yeah, they can get out of a contract. That's not a big deal. And plus, you can carry multiple brands in your salon. You don't have to be stuck to one. So just to have multiple brands is fine too. There's lots of salons that do that. And then how do I bring up your hairstylist, and you bring up how do I bring up VIPs? I actually, what I do, I like to, obviously use the products on their hair and have them smell it, whatever, feel it, and I ask what they use at home, and I say, well, I'm using this because it'll help smooth out your hair and give you the shine that you want. Duh, why wouldn't you want that, right? Like, I just make it funny, and then I say, you can actually get a free product if you wanted to order. It ships right to your house, and I can send you information later if you're interested. That's it. That's how I say it to my clients. It seems easy because they've never heard of this. And oh, by the way, if you're a hairdresser, if you put the products in front of the client on a shelf, they'll ask what that is. It's like they're bringing it up and you're not bringing it up to them. That's another thing too. Always keep it in front of them.
Do you use a specific product in the salon? Just out of curiosity, like, do you gravitate toward like Renew, for example, because it's kind of the most, I don't know, robust?
You know what? I love Revive. I love Revive. And it's funny because people, and even Kate, she's like, oh my God, I don't like Revive and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. But no, I love it. And you know what? One of my girlfriends has thick, coarse hair, and she got the holiday gift where she just wanted the round brush blower, right? And it came with the Revive and the Revitalized conditioner. And I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna like that because it comes with the shampoo and conditioner. I think you'd do great with the smoothing line. And she's like, no, I just want a round brush. I'm like, okay, whatever. And she loves it. Like, it's
so funny.
Easy. So I'm like, I didn't think Revive would be great for coarse, thick hair, but they love it because it's lighter. So that's my favorite. That's my go-to, actually, the Revive. Try it for yourself. I use it in my hair and I love it.
That's so funny because I do not love it, but I gotta give it more of a shot because I really don't give it much of a shot.
Yeah.
I just like, that was probably, Revive is probably the one shampoo where I've lost the most VIPs, like people canceled.
Really?
Yeah, but it's so interesting because I love the black, and Bailey is not a fan of the black. So
That's
it's
funny.
so interesting how like something can work for someone. And when it also goes to show that when you're confident in something 100%, people follow that. Like they really do. Like all of my customers pretty much have either Renew or Black 2-in-1 or add those into their regimens.
It's funny because people don't like Renew on my end. Like they find they don't. Yeah, it's just
so funny.
So I always, as a general shampoo, I say the Revive, and like I've had great results with it, like no complaints. So I don't know, maybe it's, I have no idea.
I know it's got to be some type of like effect of just you talking about it, you being confident in it, and just running with it. I think the minute you are hesitant about a product or you don't feel 100% about a product, you're like, and then other people can feel that they can sense it 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing this call. It was amazing having you, and you were such a light, and I love your content is amazing. You guys have to watch Nadia. Like she's so funny. take some little tips and tidbits from her social, but just how consistent she is, how funny she is, how relatable she is. You're going to get some laughs in there. And the thing is, guys, if you're not entertaining people, they're not going to stick around. Instagram is a platform that people are using to escape their boring ass everyday life. So they don't want to come here and listen to you drone on and on and on and be boring. And Nadia is like the perfect person to look at as an example of someone who's entertaining people and making them laugh and making them feel good and like feel like a human being, you know?
I know, it's really just be yourself. And you know, I find when I talk about like my kids, I love wine, guys. Like, gosh darn it, I just love my wine, and I always show off the wine. And I think when you bring in something that you love, a hobby or whatever, show that more, make money a commercial in your life. As long as you show the commercial every day, people are going to watch you and want to know more. I promise you that. That mindset, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We'll wrap it up so you can go to your call, but I just love you and can't wait to see you go to MMM and hit AED and do all the amazing things you're going to do. And
I'll try. I love you. Thanks so much for having me. I look up to you guys, fangirling over here. Thanks. Bye. Bye.